then I'm going to turn it over to Dillon. Dillon is part of our CareerWise apprenticeship program. So we are in the second year of having students participate in CareerWise. So he can explain that program and what it's meant for students.
Yes. All right, so in addition to going to Columbine, I also went to Warren Tech, and that's how I found out about CareerWise. So when I was a junior, during the spring semester, my teacher actually brought up the idea about CareerWise, and he was pushing to get us into that program and get us into apprenticeships and just like prepare us for the workforce. And that was really cool. And I went to Warren Tech for computer science. So, and that is the field that I'm in now. After my teacher brought that up, I had some interest. I looked online. Didn't really do much, though. And then Bridget Junkala came over and gave us another presentation about the program. And it got me more interested in it. But I didn't do much again until CareerWise came there, the final day of applications, and they helped us build a resume. And I actually submitted it. I only submitted one, so just put all my eggs in one basket, and I was able to get an apprenticeship at CU Denver. So I work there as a junior coder now, and I work in the Office of Information Technology as a junior coder in the Enterprise Application Services, which basically means that we work to supply the website for both CU Denver and Anschutz. They're the same campus. Sort of. It's really weird. And yeah, so I do both front-end and back-end coding, and it's what I really like to do. And so during my senior year of school is when I started that. So I was going to both Warren Tech, Columbine, and then I also did the apprenticeship too. I was a senior, so it was pretty easy. I only had like 2 classes at Columbine, made it doable, and the block schedule there made it so I had classes that fell on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I was able to work on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or the vice versa, whatever. And at the same time, I also went to Warren Tech. So on the days I did go to school, I was split between those 2 schools as well. And it was nice because I was able to earn money while I was working. And I am still participating, so it's the second year of this program, and I'm going to Red Rocks now, just for cost effectiveness. And when I transfer over to CU Denver to get my bachelor's, they're actually going to pay for some of my classes. And I met with CareerWise last week talking about that. Don't have a total plan because we were in the first year of that program, so they had to find out all the details. They expected me, I think, to go CU Denver. So you're supposed to pay for some of the classes, but CU Denver can't pay for my classes at Red Rocks directly. But still working out really well. And next semester, I think I'm going to work 3.5 days a week, so 30 hours while still going to school full time. And yeah. I think that's it.
And you are doing the work that you love to do.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I still do a lot of side projects too in my spare time.
So Dillon is also quiet about some of his accomplishments. I will say that the folks at DU really, or CU Denver, believe that he probably could run department at some points. They often ask him to do projects that they can't figure out.
I'd like to ask our 2 students a question. You're involved in these pathways, and I really appreciate, your willingness to come and share that involvement with us and what it means to you. I'm curious to know, do you think your involvement in this program actually impacts your involvement in your regular classes, assuming that you had a couple of them, in your high school? Does it impact your performance and your engagement, actually, in your regular classrooms back at your high schools? What do you think?
For me, I would say not really, because when I'm working, you work the full day and then you're done, right? With school, you have homework and stuff, so I don't have that lingering work after I'm done with the work day that sort of goes into the rest of my day after I get back home, and then the next day when I have school. So really, it's like once I'm done with work, I can fully focus on school when I need to do it, and I can use the rest of that work day to work on homework and keep ahead in school. I was taking AP English during the fall semester when I was a senior too, so that was a lot of homework.
Okay.
I was able to keep up with.
But you were able to do it. I mean, you stayed engaged in your AP English class, and you were successful in doing that.
Yeah.
That's my question, really, I suppose.
Yeah.
I was trying to focus on what can we be doing earlier for students. So I just keep coming back to, by the junior year in high school, we seem to have a lot of opportunities. We've lost so many kids before that time. And I know we keep talking about that, and I recognize that Warren Tech, transportation issues, overcrowding. But listening to you guys, and I know the programs that you are doing take a lot of time and energy and effort. It's a big commitment to then also manage your coursework. But do you have any thoughts of what we could be doing to engage students earlier so that you aren't going through this, which so many students are, of this is meaningless, why am I here? Maybe not making the greatest choices, not feeling great, to then suddenly, as you're on the latter part of your high school experience, going, hey, this is great. What could we be doing to get that spark earlier?
So I think one, so just using like my field of like computer science and IT, really, Columbine, during my senior year, that was the first time that they got an AP computer science course started up. And not saying that that's necessarily what I'm looking for, but like during my sophomore year, I took a web design class and I finished the entire year curriculum in like 6 weeks. But that was like all project-based. And I really feel like project-based classes that are in what students are interested in is huge. Like project-based learning, experiential learning is a big part of like what I think would drive interest in kids. Like there's a difference between tests, which feel like memorization, and like you may not apply those skills later on, compared to doing projects that you have guidance from the teacher, but they sort of let you explore and you have to learn for yourself. And that's what, at least I find, that's how I learn the best.
Okay.
So I think project-based learning is a huge part of it.
Okay. That's really helpful to me as a board member. I think that students have really, their lens and their experience is not always the way we see things. And so thank you for being here and for sharing that.
Okay, I'm going to take the liberty to bring this presentation to closure, but I do want to say to all of you, this is fascinating work that you're doing. It's important work. Thank you for being here with us this morning. And to all of you, including the students, keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you for your support.